Okay, so if there are these challenges that we all face, really, if ransomware is such this big issue, are there, would you say, common weaknesses within finance and insurance organizations? Are there things that we can tighten up?
So I love that you answered that question because what we've seen is if you look at ransomware attacks, it's not something that is actually pervasive across just finance and insurance. This is a global problem. And if what we have done is if you look at how ransomware attacks happen, actually we published a paper called Understanding the Adversary, How Ransomware Attacks Happen, right? And if you look at how these ransomware attacks actually carry out, what these criminals did is they came up with one attack path that essentially worked on the majority of organizations on the planet. And they carried out this attack, and the whole world burned to the ground because they capitalized on problems that have persisted through organizations, regardless of the business vertical, that have existed for 10 and 20 years. And those are the things like overextension of privileges, overextension of access, like things where admins have too much access. And they were able to build upon that to take advantage of those very permissive security architectures to come up with one attack pack that was applicable to a bunch of different organizations.
Okay, obviously, businesses and consumers alike now both feeling the squeeze from cost of living pressures at the moment. Have you seen any evidence of businesses sort of deprioritizing or downgrading cyber insurance cover?
Well, we've definitely seen more concern with spending. That's something that we have seen. I think it's important message that everyone should take is that cyber insurance is not a replacement for proactive cybersecurity strategy. And that's very they're two they have their place, right? Your cybersecurity strategy is alone, and cyber insurance should be considered a backstop and something that you should definitely invest in, but keep those separate, right? What we should be concerned with is that the investment into cybersecurity as a whole has dropped because of economic downturn. If you look at some of our other publications, that's a very slippery slope, right? Because we release something called the cost of a data breach every year, and what we see is that the cost of an incident is very significant, and that is increasing year over year. So if we see organizations reducing their investment into cybersecurity, what we could be doing is just ending up with a massive amount of financial impact down the road by trying to navigate these times. So while I do understand the tightness that organizations are going through, we have to keep in mind that cybersecurity is here to stay. It's the cost of doing business because if you don't invest in that, it's going to cost you literally.